Good morning. Just read Hosea chapter 6, and it's another call for the people to return to God, really. He mentions Ephraim, which would be Israel, and Judah, so both the north and southern kingdoms. He wants them to return. And then in verse 5, he says, "He hewed them by the prophets and I have slain them by the words of my mouth." So he sent the prophets to tell them to come back to him. The Bible to get us to stop, to be dead to sin. And we don't do it. He said Israel's goodness was as a morning cloud, as the early dew it goes away. So, like, they started off good, and then as time went on, they got less and less good. We all tend to do that. We always start off kind of innocent, maybe throwing some tantrums, and then we can get worse and worse and worse until we really line up with God. We develop some pretty bad habits. He says we should desire mercy and sacrifice more than burnt offerings. He's just going off about Israel's relying on their legalism, their works, instead of actually just having a relationship with God. He's really calling them out here. But at the end, he's still ready to bring them back. He uses the word captivity. He says, "When I return the captivity of my people," that's him actually talking about restoration. He still wants to restore the people. He still wants them to come back. He still wants to have a relationship with them. We need to remember that, I think. No matter what, we're going to head a certain way because we have sin within us, in our flesh. And God's always willing there to forgive and to bring us back. And if you have legitimate remorse for something you've done, that's great. You have the remorse, you're responding. The next response is to turn back to God and not to keep doing it. To try your best to be with God and to stay away from that sin. So, another call to restoration. And the response we should be having is to turn.